All right, we go. Exercise 4D. Shh, quiet down. What I want you to copy down is this formula. Not formula, but that is a unit circle. Now, I want you to copy this one down for me. So just like what you did for... Just like Truncus said, you all had an equation. Well, that's where circular functions come from, but no, not yet. You're right on that idea. Now, listening. X squared plus y squared equals to r squared is your equation for a circle. Anytime you see this kind of equation, it is likely to be a circle. Okay, so if you can see x squared plus y squared and you get a number, it is a circle. Now, this is your circle over here on the right hand side. If I asked you, what is the radius for this circle, what would you tell me? 1. Radius is equal to 1. That's what this r stands for. This r stands for the radius. So, if I gave you a circle, write down, listening. If I gave you a circle with radius 2, okay, then that would say that it would be 2 squared. Okay, so I'm going to write it on the screen so you can see. If the radius here was 2, so the width was 2, then we would say this is 2 squared. Okay? That's just how the formula works at this point. And you're right, the theory comes from your Pythagoras' theorem, but I'm not going to go through that. I'm just going to get you to read the equation. Okay? Now, just like up, right, and down, left, right, up, and down, you're going to have the same thing for this one now too. Every time you deal with the x's, that tells you left or right. Every time you deal with the y's in this case, which is different from what you've been doing, this will tell you up or down. Now the technique that I showed you how to find out left or right will apply to both of these in this case. The reason why is because they're both in the brackets now. Unlike before, you had a plus C on the outside, that will tell you up, down, left, right. For a circle, it's different. For a circle, anything that you deal with the y's will move it up or down. Anything you deal with the x's will move it left or right. Now, however you found to move left or right, you're going to do the same thing for y's. So if you want to find out if you're moving up or down, you have to let y plus c equal to 0 and solve for y. Whereas x, if you let x plus b equal to 0 and solve for x, that will tell you left or right. Okay? So in a circle, you always start at the origin. The center of the circle is always 0, 0. One to the right, one up, one down. In. Ryan. Girls, thank you. Now you got 0, 0 as the center. When you move left, right, up, and down, what you're actually only moving, there's no asymptotes. In this case here, there's only one thing, it's just where the center is. When you move left, right, up, and down, you change the center where the center will be. That's why circles are easy. Radius, it's just the last number. Whatever the last number is, that last number, you square root that tells you the radius. So 2 squared will give you 4. If you square root that tells you the radius is 2. Okay, so all I wanted you to copy was here. Just the transformations here. We've got anything to do with the y's up, down. Anything to do with the x's left, right. Okay, so let's do an example. Yeah, I want you to copy this one down. You have x plus b squared plus y plus c all squared. This is your radius. They told you the radius is 2. So I already know this is 2 squared. Now, this is tricky. Your center is now at -3, so left to the 3. 5, which means up by 5. So up 5, left 3. So, if you know that the center is to the left by 3, up by 5, that's where the center is, then what should the equation be? Whoops. What should the equation be so that I can have it left by 3, up by 5? Good. Exactly what Ian just said. This one should be x plus 3, because if you let this equal to 0 and solve for x, x equals -3. True? That tells you left.
Then y minus 5.
And this one has to be y minus 5. Fantastic. This has to be y minus 5. And as radius was 2 squared. So this will tell me up by 5. So it's exactly what you've been doing. So you know how to read left and right. In this case here, if you want center to move left, this whole thing has to equal to -3. Okay, so that's what I want. I want to do x plus 3 if I let it equal 0. So you're working backwards. Same thing in the y's. If you want this to be a positive 5, it had to be a minus 5. Y minus 5 equals 0. Y equals positive 5. That's why you know this is up 5, left 3. Okay? So my equation, if you had to answer this question, it says write down the equation of the circle. It would just be x plus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals to 4. You type that in your calculator, and that will have a circle where the center is at -3, 5, and a radius 4. Okay, so far, I got a radius of 4. So this is what my circle should roughly look like. But what you can see is there's a lot to work out here. You're going to have to find out the y-intercepts and the x-intercepts. Okay? Which at this point, I'm just going to work with you reading the equation first before you do x and y-intercepts. X and y-intercepts are exactly the same. Just remember when you square root, it's a plus and a minus answer. That's how you get top and bottom. Left and right. Okay, let's do another one. Let's do another one. So for now, I just want you to find the center and roughly draw it. I'm going to get you to find the x-intercepts, y-intercepts, so you can sketch it properly later. Okay? Now, using your logic, if you know the radius is 2, and this is the center, -3, how far is the width? How far is the width here? What should the width be? This is -3, radius is 2. It has to be at negative. Good. -5 to this side, and then across -3, cross will be -1. So -1, -5 is your width. Yeah. So if I draw out my radius, you said radius of 2. So here we go. We got -2, -1. So this is radius of 2. Radius of 2 this way. So this would be -5. So this is as far as my circle will go. And then up and down has to be up, down by radius of 2. Now if this is 5, what's the maximum height that it can be? 7. Okay, so it'll be 7, and the minimum height? 3. Okay, because radius 2, radius 2. So if I were to sketch it, this is 7, 3. You can put in the sort of dots. In this case here, we know the circle has to be something like this. Okay, with the center at -3, 5. In this case here, there is no x and y-intercepts. And you try to solve it, it won't work. Okay, but that's what I'm trying to show you. But that's what you'll be using. Now, when you know there's an x and y-intercepts, that's what you sketch. Okay, so you're using the radius.
Yeah, I don't care about
So hard. It's just a bit thinking, that's all. Okay, let's try another one. I'll do another one on this one here. Let's read this one now. Yep, but we're not going to do that at the moment. Yeah? All right, here we go. We've got find the center and radius of the circle. Now, radius is the easiest one to find. If this is 4, remember the formula was r squared. So square root of 4 had to be 2 squared. So now I know the radius is 2. So I've answered the question. Radius is 2. Now, reading the equation, what does the x minus 1 do to the graph again? What's x minus 1 do?
Right one.
What was that, Najma? Right by 1. And how do you figure it out? Same thing as I've been teaching you. Let it equal to 0. Solve for x. That tells me right by 1. Same thing. Oops. Same thing with this one. Y minus 2. What does y minus 2 tell me?
Right.
Not right.
Up.
Up. Okay, so in this case here, y minus 2 equals 0. Y equals 2, it means up 2. So now you know the center has to go to the right by 1, up by 2. That's my center there. Okay, so it's at 1, 2. Radius, you told me the radius is 2. So radius is 2. So if I go 2 to the right and 2 to the left, what's my maximum horizontal distance? Not 4? Starting at 1, so the center is at 1. And the radius going across by 2. So adding an extra 2. So from 1, adding an extra 2. 3. 1 plus 2 is 3, yeah? So from here, you're starting at x equals 1. Horizontally across, you said radius is 2.
Yeah, but it's moving
But the center's here. So that's the
from
center.
1 to 3 is 2.
Yeah.
So it's 2.
But I'm asking what's the maximum number? Like how far does it reach that? So you told me the centers of the circles here. Radius is how far it goes across. So 2
Not the
across.
distance, not the distance, but the number of each.
Yeah.
When we go like
Okay, so the number that it reaches, it has to be across up until 3. That's a radius of 2 there. Same thing if I went to the left-hand side. So if I go across,
That'd be -2.
not -2, -1. So 1 minus 2 is -1. So that's 2, 2. What about height?
It'd be 2, I guess.
Yeah, so think about it. You said up by 2. So this is where 2 is. If I
0 would be 0 and
0 and 4. So down from 2 is by 2, up by 2. So now you know the maximum height is 4, and you know this is 0. So now you can put in the points. Why does this keep happening? There you go. I'm putting all the points in. 0. And there you go. That's my circle there. Okay? The only thing you're missing is y intercepts. X intercept you already know it's at 1, 0. Y intercept when x equals 0. Okay, then you can solve for that. Alright? Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get you to work on your worksheets. Now, on your worksheets, just a circle. On your worksheets, leave question 4 till tomorrow. You should be able to do the rest. At this point, you can find out the center, find the radius. You should be able to sketch it roughly. Try to have a go with finding x and y intercepts. It's the same thing. Sub x equals 0, sub y equals 0. You can find it's easier to do with these ones. Leave question 4 last. We'll do that tomorrow. Okay, because it's completing the square. Revise completing the square for not tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Friday's lesson. Revise completing the square because you need that.
on Friday. Do we have much?
Wait, doesn't matter if you do it.
Yeah, because it just means like it will just cancel out. It'll just be x squared. So it ends up being x squared plus y squared equals radius.
So would you like to revise it back?
Oh wait, I'm gonna stop this video.